Hey everybody, today I'm going to talk about religion, measures of character, and different interpretations. Now, you may have noticed when politicians, media personalities, other people, even church leaders hold themselves out as being religious, quoting the Bible, praising God, that they don't always, let's just say they're not always sincere, for lack of a better way of putting it. They could just be trying to enrich themselves or take advantage of people. Despite praising God, they could still lie, cheat, steal, grift, discriminate, kill, or do other things to hurt people. There's no vetting process that they have to go through, no tests, no trials, no education requirements that they need to go through first. Anyone can do it. The worst person in the world could hold themselves out as being religious or even become a religious leader. I think we know that. There's nothing to stop them. Now, it could be intentional, or it could be unintentional. Religion can be an attractive way to mask a person's darkness and make it seem more socially acceptable. So, simply being religious is not a good measure of someone's character. So what is? I'll tell you. You look at how they behave relative to correct principles. Now, when I say correct principles, I'm just talking about things like honesty, fairness, equity, justice, compassion, loyalty, kindness, courage, that sort of thing. Principles are independent of religion. They're humanity's foundation. They exist across cultures and religions. They are the common thread that binds humanity together, not religion. Stephen Covey referred to these as lighthouse principles, natural laws that are woven into the fabric of every civilized society throughout history and comprising the roots of every family and institution that has endured and prospered. Now, some might argue that they're inherent in the teachings of their religion, but they're not unique to any one religion, and they exist outside religion. Quoting Stephen Covey again, although people may argue about how these principles are defined or manifested or achieved, there seems to be an innate consciousness and awareness that they exist. Using fairness as an example, there are vast differences in how fairness is defined and achieved, but there's almost universal awareness of the idea. Most principles, if you'll notice, relate to how we interact with others. The way we treat other people is ultimately how we're measured. You can't force someone to adopt your beliefs or live by them. Your beliefs don't mean much to someone who's outside your religion, and they don't make you better than anyone else. Other people's opinion of you is going to be based mostly on the way you behave relative to lighthouse principles. Are you honest? Are you fair? Are you kind, courteous, compassionate, etc.? If you're a jerk, they're not going to care if you go to church or not. Now, some people are still going to take exception to separating principles from religion, instead maintaining that principles are embedded in their religion and following in their religion's teachings is what's important. And that's fine, perfectly fine, if you end up in the same place living life in alignment with correct principles. But what if you don't? What if people who claim to be following the teachings of their religion end up hurting others in the name of their religion? Now, certainly we know this happens. Think about how many have been hurt in the name of religion over the centuries. A religion itself might be good, but its writings get interpreted by people. Practices and institutions are developed by people. So you end up with differences in beliefs and practices even within a single religion. The original message could be lost in translation or even intentionally manipulated. Don't you think you owe it to God to be mindful of the possibility that this could happen and not be taken in or misled? I'll give you an example. Think about how some Christians use religion as a basis for discriminating and harming those who are in the LGBTQ community. They use religion as a basis for their discrimination, but many, who are also Christians, don't believe that being gay or trans is wrong, and they welcome them in the church. So I'd say that discrimination, even when done in the name of religion, is not a religious belief, but a personal one, because there are many in that same religion who don't share that belief. In other words, it is a personal choice as to what religious interpretation that you adopt. And that's where being mindful of correct principles comes in. They could serve as a sort of compass, a point of reference, a lighthouse to let you know if you strayed off course. If you, in good faith and sincerity, feel that you're practicing the teachings of your religion and you end up supporting discrimination against a class of people, maybe you've unintentionally gone off course from your religion's intent. If you find yourself hurting others or deviating from any basic human principles in the name of your religion, it may be just worthwhile just pause, take a time out, and reflect on whether you've been led astray. If you hear a politician or a church leader urging you to hurt people in the name of God, or just trying to invoke feelings of fear or hate, that's probably a good indication that they're not a good conduit of your faith. Now here's a final thing for you to ponder. There are many religions, and some don't believe in a religion or God at all. No one knows who's right, if anyone. Now you may think you know, you may feel it deeply in your heart, but there are literally billions of other people who feel something differently, deeply in their heart. Is it a little arrogant to think that you're special, that you're the one who knows? I think it's a safe bet to say that God is the one who knows, and only God. You don't decide. No matter what you feel in your heart, and no matter how many others you think believe it along with you, being part of a group doesn't make you right. So wouldn't it be better to, I would say, hedge your bet and practice your religion in a way that doesn't hurt or discriminate against others? There are a lot of people who are able to do this. It's a choice, a personal choice. I personally believe that God would look more favorably on the way that you've lived your life if you're able to do this. And I think that you'd be happier as well. I doubt you'll be penalized by God for failing to hurt people. Again, you have a choice. Deep down, I think you know that using God or religion to either elevate yourself or as an excuse to hurt others is wrong. Okay, let me try to summarize this up for you. A person's affiliation with religion gives absolutely no assurance as to the kind of person that they are. Lighthouse principles should be part of everyone's foundation. At the end of the day, the goal should be to live life in alignment with them as best you can. Religion could certainly be a path to doing that, but it could also be misinterpreted or intentionally manipulated to leave you off course. Just watch out for that. Religion should never be used to elevate yourself or as an excuse to discriminate against or hurt others. Keep this in mind to help stay within the true intent of your religion. Just give it some thought, and I hope this helps. Thanks.